back to The Verdict here on Channels Television, live from our studios at the global headquarters in Lagos. Now, just before the break, Mr. Nonoju was talking about restructuring. He started with it, he ended his comments with it. So I want to ask, Mr. Akioshun, is restructuring, in your view, that important? Is it vital to the good health and development of the country at this point?
People, when they talk about restructuring, really do not know what they mean. What does restructuring entail? It's not just a rhetoric. It's not just a word. What do you mean by restructuring? Are we talking about restructuring in terms of going back to 3 regions? Are we talking about restructuring in terms of breaking up into more states? And when you say restructuring, it is not just a term to be used loosely. Some of the things you need to talk about when you're looking at restructuring is that how is the police force structured now? Do we want to change the structure of the police force to have state policing? Yes, that is restructuring. Those are the kind of things we need to look at going forward. But when you talk of restructuring just as a generic term, without identifying what exactly you want to restructure, it just begs the question. A lot of people say it and just say, oh, we want to restructure. Restructure what? Naturally, the country is divided into north and south, generically speaking. And you find that there are 19 states in the north, 17 also in the south. And what makes the south different from the north is nature in the first instance. We have come together as a nation, but how to run together is one of the things we need to work on. But if you create more states, many of the states we have today are not economically viable. Many states up to 2015 were unable to pay their salaries in spite of the affluence that was in the lines. What do you call salaries of civil servants were being owed for 3 months, 4 months, and upwards in some situations. Even as we speak, some states are still owing salaries of civil servants. So when you restructure and create more states, are you not creating more problems? Look at the size of managing this structure itself. What do the legislator earn compared to what is paid? Do we want to restructure as in that let us make our legislature now to be part-time rather than full-time? And those are the kind of specific issues we need to look at. But it's not just a name to say we want to restructure.
Well, Mr. Aino, restructuring seems to, going by what both our guests in Abuja made mention of, somewhere in between being top priority and being priority. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree, but I'm looking at it from different angle. I agree. We need to, but when you mention restructuring, it means continuous improvement. That's once I hear that from anyone, what comes to my mind is you want to improve. So that's my own concept. So I want to look at it from this way. Let's take it from the political party, then I will now talk about the rest. So when I want to talk of restructuring from political point of view, I'm looking at, can we have a leadership institution in Nigeria that we train all our leaders about different sphere of society? Because you discover, I mean, I asked some of my friends vied for a position of senators and all that, and I asked them, why do you want to go for this? They say, well, maybe I'll just do this road. And I said, no, it's more than that. You don't lead just because you want to build roads, you want to buy my machine and all that. It goes beyond that. And I discovered that there is this leadership gap in not only in Nigeria anyway, but in that area, I'm looking at, is there a way whereby we can have that institution embedded in all these political parties, whereby you do a refresher course about national development, so that when you are talking, you are making sense. When you are ruling with you are really strategically. You are not just ruling just because. I mean, I ask people, why do we need to celebrate you when you are a governor? Why do you have to go to church for Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving for what? When I'm hired, why should I have to go and do Thanksgiving? It's a call to duty. You are there to work. So I'm looking at, when we're talking about restructuring, let's inject something that we add value to our leadership style. That's one side. Now, on the other side, when you're looking at social restructuring now, I'm looking at, okay, Lagos is congested. What do we need to do? We need to decongest it. Can we have an expressway that we go to, people can stay at Ijebu-Ode and come to Lagos? Can we have a road from Port Harcourt to Yenegua or to Ahoda? Because you discover that in Nigeria, it's only the state capital that is developed, or local government. But the rest, no. So can we have that urbanization plan whereby we will tell ourselves and say, in the next 20 years, we want Ijebu-Ode to be, to have an industry that can accommodate people, where people can come and, just like what you mentioned earlier on, people coming from Ibadan to work here, people coming from Abeokuta to work in Lagos. Can we have the same thing spread across the nation? Now, also, in our hospital, can we restructure our hospital in such a way whereby we can have drone technology to give blood, to give something to medical supply to people in a remote location? How soon can somebody in distress far away in Ekiti State, in Taraba, in Katsina, could get medical attention? So, can we restructure education in such a way whereby we can have private investors saying that, okay, I want to do certain things to a particular university. You mentioned somebody here when I was watching the program behind. We said we tried nuclear energy at the time, and we penciled down University of Ife. So what happened? Now, a lot of things are happening in ICT, in technology, as the case may be. Can private individual have an handshake with our institution and develop people? We have so many institutions in Nigeria. We have so many talented Nigerians who can do that. To me, that's restructuring, because you want to add something new into that. You want to add value into that. You're on level 1 before you want to go to 10. So that's where I see restructuring. It's not just to say we want to restructure, just like that. Our infrastructure, there are so many federal government infrastructure in Lagos. I was so happy when Lagos said, look, I'm going to take care of this. We don't want to use it for something. I don't know. But these are all the things that we should look at when we are talking about infrastructure. That what can I do better? What building do I need to bring down to erect a 21st century building? Which
still anchors on leadership,
on leadership. But what I'm saying, when he asked, these are part of the things I'm talking about the way, my own perception of restructuring. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it from improvement. And I'm looking at you injecting a new thing from the existing, what is obtainable, to what you are practicing before. That's the way I see it.